Hey, welcome everyone to the very first episode of Whatever I Want, starring Yusef Saeed, played by Yusef Saeed. That is me. Now you must be asking yourself, what is the point of Whatever I Want? And you know what? That is a great question because I barely know the point of this podcast. I pretty much bought a mic and realized that I wanted to start a podcast. Actually, the opposite. I realized I wanted to start a podcast, then I bought a mic. So now I'm $120 down the drain, but I'm not going to pay that back with money. I'm going to pay that back with the love of a million fans and fame. Because you know what? That stuff is priceless. Back to the point of this podcast. Basically, I will do whatever I want every week, and you guys will tune in and just love the stuff. If I don't know what I want to do, I will check my Gmail, whatiwantshow@gmail.com. Please email me with suggestions, although I may ignore them and just do whatever I want. And now, without further ado, here is episode 1 of Whatever I Want. Yo, whatever I want, 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 whatever I want. The show starts now. Alright guys, so enough of that introduction voice. This is how I actually talk. I do not sound like that. So, I realized that episode 1, this should really start off with a kick. I'm going to write now in front of you guys, imagine a superhero. I'm going to think of an origin story. I'm also going to think about his powers or her powers. It could be a chick. I don't even know what's going to happen. This is all just coming off the top of my dome. There's going to be an enemy. There's going to be a romantic subplot. I'm not writing any of this down. You know what? This is just all stuff that I'm hoping I get delivered to you in just one shot. All right, so here we go. Now, let's see. I'll have to think out loud to keep this interesting for you guys. I'm looking around my room right now to look for something I can base my hero off of. I have this lotion over here. I have tape. There's a pen. What can I do? Alright, so here we go. So this is the story of Luke Rederm. Yes, Luke Rederm, your average high school boy with very, very dry, acne-clad skin. Luke was a mediocre student until one day he realized his skin was extremely dry. He was actually completely unaware of how dry his skin was. He just kind of went through his day feeling all crusty. So, one day, he just applied moisturizer to his skin, and then his extremely dry skin just began to eat up this lotion. He was terrified because his skin didn't appear to get any more moist, so he just started applying more and more lotion. He started emptying just tube after tube after tube of lotion, and none of it seemed to be going anywhere. He realized that his skin was beyond repair. He needed to go through extreme measures. Luckily, right next to his school was an abandoned lotion plant. He cut school and then hopped a fence, which was really easy to hop. And he broke into this abandoned lotion factory. Little did he... How do I say this? He didn't notice that there was a radioactive sign next to the lotion factory. He enters the factory. It's really dark and there's cobwebs and stuff. And then he goes in, and then he sees this really big vat of lotion. But it was just covered in dust. Okay, because it's old, it's an old abandoned lotion factory. And he climbs to the top with a ladder that he finds, and then when he peers down into... This is the sound of me shuffling in my seat. Okay, so he is on the top of this lotion reservoir. He doesn't know that it's a lotion reservoir yet. He manages to take the top off, and now he knows it's a lotion reservoir. He looks at it and thinks, my goodness, my skin is about to get so moist. He dives in. But Luke forgot. He didn't know how to swim. Bum bum. Luke, panicking, begins to drown in the lotion. Uh-oh, what's he gonna do now? He seems to be in a pinch. Luke, unfortunately, sinks. And then you see like the little bubbles. But then, a glow starts to come from the reservoir of lotion. And now imagine that like from the outside, like the camera pans up and then goes like right into the lotion vat, and then you see like an unconscious Luke floating in the in the ocean in the ocean of lotion. Haha, quick save, Yusef, you rock. So he's in this little ocean of lotion, and that should be a thing later. His extremely dry, cracked skin starts to absorb lotion at an extremely inhumane rate, and his body's just like metabolizing this lotion real quick and turning it into nutrition for his unconscious body. And this lotion, as it's being like just so quickly absorbed by this kid, like it starts to become one with the kid's like DNA, because the DNA itself is all dry and cracked because the kid never moisturized. And so now like what's his name? Luke Rederm begins to just transform, but it's not a transformation that like he becomes like a blob of lotion. He comes out of the vat a nice boy with healthy skin. No more being acne clad. He is now a clear skin, and it's all beautiful and smooth, and he glows now. He skids down the reservoir, because remember I said earlier it was dusty. He skids down it, and then when he skids down, like the line that's like he like leaves, right? It's all clean now because he's moist, and it like spells radioactive. But he still didn't see it. So now Luke is thinking, hey, holy moly, check me out, man. I am beautiful. He goes back to school, a new man. When he opens the door, boom, and then like everyone in the hallway like turns around, including all the hot cheerleaders and the football jocks, and they all look at him and they go like, Luke Rederm, is that you? And he's like, that's right, guys. I'm moist now. Very moist. And everyone's like, oh, wow, oh my goodness, wow, you're so cool, Luke. Luke begins to like, strut down while Must Be the Money starts playing. If you wanna go and take a ride with me, and like it's cool. He's like leaving little like footprints of lotion, and people don't understand why, but he's so moist, and he's like glimmering because this school has like lots of fluorescent lights, and they're all just like going down on him, and he's like blinding everyone he like walks nearby because he's just so reflective because he's so moist because of the lotion. And what happens is let's call him Jock Jones. Jock Jones was bullying Luke for a very long time. Jock Jones goes up to Luke, and Jock is 6'1" and Luke is 5'4", and Luke's like, what are you gonna do to me now, Jock? I'm more handsome than you. And he goes, hey man, it doesn't matter if you're more handsome than me and your skin is moist. I'm Jock Jones. I get what I want because I'm super buff and I play football for the football team and stuff. And Jock Jones, in an infuriated, in a blind rage, throws a punch at Luke, and Luke he's still mentally this frail boy. He is not aware of what was about to happen that would change his life forever. When Jock Jones punched Luke straight in the jaw, right? Like it started to become lotion. Like, imagine like the jaws dislocating and slowly becoming lotion. I don't know how to explain this any better, but like, I don't know. Watch like Spider-Man 3, the one with the Sandman, and imagine trying to fight Sandman, but like it's not sand, it's lotion now. So like he punches his jaw and it becomes lotion, and everyone's freaking out like, "Oh my god, why is his lower jaw becoming lotion? How moist is he?" And like Luke falls down in shock, and Jock Jones now has knuckles that are beautifully moist because he had just punched Luke Redurm. And Jock Jones is like, "Whoa, dude, you just made my knuckles real moist, man. This is like irreversibly moist. I now have beautiful knuckles thanks to you. I should just keep punching you." So then Jock Jones keeps punching Luke, and Luke is humiliated. But Luke realizes that none of those punches actually hurt, because now that he is part lotion, he's able to like absorb these blows like no problem. And Luke decides that this isn't a fight worth fighting because he doesn't want to humiliate himself, and he doesn't want to make Jock Jones look bad. You know, Luke is actually deep down a pretty great guy. Just because he has this new advantage, he doesn't want to take advantage of the advantage. So the very next day, Luke goes to his grandpa, and his grandpa is like, "Ah, Luke, my son, you have very moist skin. It is skin almost as moist as my great-grandfather's." And then Luke says, "Oh, Grandpa Sensei, what should I do with my new moist skin?" And he says, "You must enter the desert and moisten the desert that is dry with crime." Luke Redurm goes to his bedroom, grabs a baseball cap, puts it on his head, and turns it around because he knows it's time for some serious action. It is time for Luke Redurm to become lubricated, the lubricated dork. Luke Redurm has now become the Ocean Lotion. Oh, told you that was gonna come back. He's gonna be the Lotion Ocean. Actually, not the Ocean Lotion. He's gonna be the Lotion Ocean. Luke, right next door to his home was the desert. You have to understand, Luke's neighborhood is very, very tiny. It's like a desert next to a home, next to a school, next to a radioactive lotion plant, okay? This is all making sense in my head. So basically, what happens is Luke now enters the desert, clad in his new super cool baseball cap. And, like, suddenly, the evil man by the name of oh my gosh, my computer fan is whirring. I hope that does not come in the mic. That would be a darn shame because I've been recording this for a while. Okay, back to the story. He sees a man he knew would be his arch nemesis. He sees the man the Brazen Raisin. Oh my god. The Brazen Raisin. Okay. Lotion Ocean goes to the Brazen Raisin, and the Brazen Raisin says, What's a moist character like you doing in these parts? I used to be the most moist grape in this desert. But then this darn sun turned me into a raisin. I started committing crimes, and by the time I was done committing these crimes, which happens to rhyme, I began to become brazen. I am now the Brazen Raisin, and using the power of my dried grape beams, I'm gonna get rid of your moisture and let the sun do the work, because no one is supposed to be more moist than the Brazen Raisin. Now, Lotion Ocean was terrified. Lotion Ocean didn't know how to fight. He was still a high school boy in his heart. He couldn't even fight Jock Jones, the bully that's been bullying him for years because of his acne-clad skin. Lotion Ocean knew he would have to think. He had to tap into his inner lotiony capability. Without a second thought, the Brazen Raisin fired a beam of his raisin beam. The raisin beam was a beam that consisted of raisins that were just exceptionally dry, like even drier than normal like grapes can ever get. They were negative dry. Basically, anything that the raisin beam ever touched would just be like immediately, just all of its hydration would be sucked out. I'm sure like everything ever has like a little bit of water in it, so I mean, yeah, everything's like, it just gets turned into dust is the point of the raisin beam. And suddenly, as Lotion Ocean saw sudden death approaching him, he realized, wait a minute, all I have to do is channel my inner moist. And suddenly, Lotion Ocean started to become lotion. But you would think, just a teenage boy, he's just 5'4" and very scrawny. You don't know that, but he is now. And like, he would just become that much lotion. He wouldn't become anything more. But he had sucked up all of that lotion from that reservoir. He had all of this lotion in his inner body that just needed to be released. And now, Lotion Ocean, when he saw this sudden death beam coming at him, just immediately went, rah! And then he became like a big, gigantic tsunami. He became the Lotion Ocean. He used his signature move, moisturizing tight. I'm trying to think of something like with like alliteration in it. Moisturizing wave. Let's just stick with, until I can find a cooler name, let's call it the moisturizing wave. There was a loud crack as the entire raisin beam began to collide with this tsunami of lotion, and now there's like a beam struggle in between this like beam of raisins and like all this lotion. And then the Brazen Raisin begins to suddenly realize, my goodness, he's so moist, there's no way my dryness can compete. I just better give in, I'm too old for this. And then Brazen Raisin began to give up. And as Luke saw the soul coming out of Brazen Raisin's eyes, he thought, wait a minute, the Brazen Raisin must still be a good man for him to give up when he has nothing to lose. And immediately, as the wave was about to take over and just hit the Brazen Raisin and end everything, Luke managed to stop, and he suddenly held the now collapsed Brazen Raisin. And he said to Raisin, listen, I know that deep down you're a good guy. And you know what? I feel like all you need is to be a little moisturized. Luke took his hand, turned it into lotion, and then it started to go through the Brazen Raisin, moisturizing him from the inside. And it like have you ever seen that scene of the Grinch, like the animated Grinch, where it's like his heart began to go like whoop whoop whoop? Now like the Brazen Raisin's old wrinkly raisin heart began to get moisturized and moisturized and moisturized, and now he became Good Guy Grape. Good Guy Grape says to Lotion Ocean, hey, thanks, man. I really appreciate that. I'm just not me when I'm not moisturized. I should really stop being in this desert, because that was the whole reason that I wasn't moist. And so, Good Guy Grape and Lotion Ocean set off together to moisturize the whole world. The end. Okay, that was completely off the top of my head. If you can believe that. I know that sounds professionally written. That's just the work of my mind, you know. It's I'm brilliant, to be very, very humble about it. All right, so that was a lot of fun. I hope there wasn't too much background noise in this, because I'm just gonna upload it like this. Whatever this is going up. And this was a ton of fun. Be sure to tune in next week for more Whatever I Want fun. And in case I don't know what I want, please email me at whatiwantshow@gmail.com. And remember, I may not listen to any of you, because I'm gonna do whatever I want.